June 25. Panic in Moscow, engulfed by fires. Russia is burning. Hurricanes are destroying cities.
Everything's on fire. Everything that can possibly burn is burning. You can't see anything.
Massive fires have broken out in Siberia. Houses are collapsing. Villages are burning.
No, that's the heat.
Damn,
Going underwater. There's a powerful downpour, snow and hail there.
It wasn't like this in winter. Now that's summer for you.
Seriously, there's never been a downpour like this. Never.
There wasn't any rain before, but there were downpours elsewhere.
What the hell is going on?
All the elements are mixed up.
Millions of hectares of forest have burned in Siberia. A large-scale evacuation has begun. And we're flustered. In Zabaykalsky Krai, the fires have been raging for almost 4 months straight. The fire has engulfed at least 100 hectares of forest. More than 150 people and aircraft have been brought in to fight the blaze. And Russia is burning. The largest wildfires have broken out in Siberia. Villages are burning. Homes are being destroyed. According to media reports, the fire has engulfed at least 100 hectares of forest. More than 150 people as well as aircraft have been brought in to fight the fire. On June 21, several dozen residential houses burned down in the Dasha cooperatives. And by evening, the fire had become a crown fire and started moving toward the settlement. Local residents are preparing for a possible evacuation. The media is circulating terrifying photos and videos from the fire-stricken areas. Let's take a look.
This is intense heat.
Where the hell is my stuff? Seriously, where is all my shit anyway? I mean, come on,
Damn, everyone ran away. What chaos.
Authorities note that the situation remains very difficult. The fire is being made worse by the heat, hot, dry weather, and strong winds. In Zabaykalsky Krai, fires have been raging for almost 4 months now, with millions of hectares of forest burned. In Krasnoyarsk, a powerful downpour and hailstorm hit the city, practically wiping it off the map. Today we'll talk about the powerful natural disasters in Russia. Please like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let's get started. Panic in Moscow, the hurricane of the century in Russia. Devastating fires have left thousands of Russians without electricity, heat, or homes.
Everything is burning. Everything that can possibly burn is burning. You can't see anything.
This is just my whole life. I put so much into this and now I have nothing left.
Look, cars are fleeing because their tires are melting from the fire.
Damn, if only I'd been the first to get hit.
I don't have a passport. We have nothing. Everything we owned burned down. We only managed to save ourselves.
It's karma. A state of emergency has been declared in Russia. More than 150,000 Russians are without power. A large-scale evacuation has begun.
The roads are blocked. Everything is closed. There's no way to get anywhere.
Massive fires and devastating hurricanes.
Here is the Siberia district. The fire is burning right along the road.
Dozens of villages are engulfed in flames. The fire has come dangerously close to major cities. The most difficult situation is in Krasnoyarsk Krai and the Republic of Khakassia.
They're honking run away because the flames are coming toward us. Oh my God, just like that, just like this. There it is, the flames right next to us.
It sweeps away people, it sweeps away houses. A hurricane-force wind has hit several regions of Russia at once, and powerful fires are destroying Siberia.
This is my whole life. I put so much into this and now I have nothing left.
The federal highway Chita-Zabaykalsk has been closed due to a hellish fire. Forests near the village of Atamanovka are burning. Almost 200 Russians. A Mi-8 helicopter, an Il-76, and 2 B-200 amphibious aircraft are currently fighting the fire. Several houses have already burned down and locals are evacuating en masse. The situation is being worsened by strong winds. The smoke has already reached Chita. Donbas, Khakassia, and the Altai and Krasnoyarsk regions. Fires, driven by gale force winds, are spreading rapidly and destroying entire villages in Siberia. Hurricanes, winds, and heavy rains have also hit the Kemerovo, Novosibirsk, and Irkutsk regions. According to Russia's Ministry of Energy, power outages caused by the bad weather have affected more than 150,000 Russians.
The situation remains difficult, even though the wind has died down. As you can see, it is still present. Moreover, according to the forecast, over the next 7 days, wind speeds could reach up to 20 meters per second, which could lead to steppe fires. That is more than enough. So once again, I want to urge all our residents to be extremely careful with fire.
Hurricane-force winds have hit Siberia. They are tearing off roofs, snapping power lines, and contributing to the rapid spread of wildfires. Dozens of villages are engulfed in flames. The fire has come dangerously close to major cities. The most difficult situation is in Krasnoyarsk Krai and the Republic of Khakassia. In the Irkutsk region, 17 houses have already been lost. 100,000 people are without power, and in Krasnoyarsk Krai, 33,000 are without electricity. In Khakassia, 40 people have officially been reported injured. Dozens of fires, a fire front nearly 80 kilometers long. In Transbaikalia, the fires have not stopped for almost 4 months. Millions of hectares of forest have burned. The fires have already approached Chita. Right now, the forest near the village of Atamanovka, 18 kilometers from the city, is burning. Landscape forest fires are raging near Abakan and Minusins. The fire is approaching homes. People are being urgently evacuated, and those who remain are being told to fight the flames with shovels, reports the Telegram channel CHTD. In Krasnoyarsk, the wind tore off roofs. One woman died after falling from a balcony. Along the road to the airport, there is a wall of fire that has come right up to the runway. In many regions of Siberia, there are widespread power and water outages.
The nearest house is 100 meters away. People.
Firefighters have been unable to defeat the flames for 5 days now. The fire is coming right up to the houses. At least 3 of them have already burned down. Let's look at this footage. The fire has crossed the Chita-Zabaikalsk highway, which the authorities were forced to close. Friends, we constantly make blogs for you about floods in Sochi, about torrential rains, tornadoes and hurricanes in Moscow, and now Siberia is burning.
Ashes are all that's left of the life before. The fire, driven by hurricane force winds, consumed both the house and all their belongings. Cars, furniture, clothes are now just ashes. The whole community fought the fire together, but the Malygin family and their 6-year-old daughter lost absolutely everything.
Honestly, I really can't even restore my SIM card without any documents because I don't have a passport. We have nothing left. Everything we own burned down. We only managed to save ourselves.
All that's left are tears and thousands of questions. What now? The Antokhin family also lost their home. That's the next street over. Victoria is the mother of 2 underage children. During the hurricane, they took shelter with relatives in Abakan. Now, essentially, there's nowhere to return to. Ruins and a lone stove frame are all that's left.
The roof caught fire, and that was it. Everything burned down in 5 minutes. The dog burned, the chickens burned, all the buildings, everything. Nothing is left. Of course, it's terrifying.
We managed to leave home with the kids in advance when the grass had just caught fire.
The neighboring field was exactly where the wind was blowing toward the residential houses, and it became a conduit for the fires. Sayanka Zigashevo was among the first to lose its home's 2-story house, and all belongings were destroyed by the flames in a matter of minutes. Now, there is only blackened earth all around.
At that end of the street, that's where the fire started. I got scared. I grabbed my child and took them to the city. When I came back, the house was already burning.
In the Vesna gardening community, a total of 5 houses were destroyed. That means 5 families lost everything at once. 14 plots were damaged to some extent. In Alia Sapogov, 2 houses burned down. Overall, during the storm in the Usobakanski district, 17 private houses and 6 apartment buildings were damaged, as well as 3 kindergartens, 6 community centers, and 2 farms. the authorities have formed a commission to assess the scale of the damage and to compile a list of those who need financial assistance.
We are determining the amount of damage, doing what we can. So if our own financial resources are not enough, then of course we will turn to the Republic for help, that's for sure. And right now we are helping people in any way we can. If someone has nowhere to stay during this difficult time and they have no relatives, we provide them with social housing.
As for the causes, of course, there are many factors involved. These include hurricane force winds, as well as the fire prevention measures that authorities should take in advance of the neglect of such measures. Abandoned plots overgrown with dry weeds pose a particular danger at times like these. However, each of these plots has its own owner.
The strictest measures will be taken. We have already exchanged information with the prosecutor's office of the Ustabakan district. We will be preparing documents to carry out municipal land inspections.
Obviously, for many residents of Khakassia, the recent hurricane and fires were a real shock. The terrifying and uncontrollable force of nature turned into a dreadful inferno. Now there's a new scourge, this time with a very human face. At night, people have started to notice looters.
They saw that we were watching, backed up, sometimes turned off their headlights, then drove on, stopped, and turned off their headlights again. Then they turn around and shone their high beams right into our windows. Basically, they're checking to see who's home.
For the authorities, one of the main tasks right now is assessing the damage and helping those affected. Anyone who cares can help with this. On the screen, you can see the personal number of the head of the Ustabakanski district and the Unified Emergency Dispatch Service. You can get more details by calling. People with children have been left with almost nothing, and any help here will not go amiss. And it's easier to get through hardship together than alone. Konstantin Kravtsov, Karim Tuguzhekov, Vesti, Khakassia.
Friends, please like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let's continue. Nature is taking revenge on Russia for its aggressive, horrifying war crimes, for its invasion of Ukraine. This year, forest fires are breaking all records. The fire has swept through 3 million hectares, of which 2.7 million are specifically in Zabaikalsky Krai and Buryatia. Currently, more than 200,000 hectares of forests are burning in Zabaikalsky Krai. Dozens of public sector workers are being sent to fight the fires, both voluntarily and under compulsion. But as for help from law enforcement and the military, there's no reason to expect any. They're not defending their own country, but destroying someone else's. Now, let's take a look at another video. A major city and a powerful downpour hit Krasnoyarsk. According to locals, hail the size of cherry tomatoes fell in Studgorodok, Vetluzhanka, and the Kirovsky district. A summer that the Russians deserve.
Fucking thick. The Russia's fuck looks like fucking hell. This is even hot, dude. This is fucked up. Shit, that's intense. Fuck. Total fucking disaster, man. It wasn't like this in winter. Summer's here. There's never been a downpour like this here. There's never been anything like this. And there's never been a downpour, but on the other side there's a downpour. What the hell is this? This is just fucked up. All the elements are mixed up. Holy shit. Where's my car? That's smashed up. God damn it.
Where's the cart now? And now, friends, let's take a look at a top-notch breakdown of Russian propaganda.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine Today. Join us now.
I was very drunk. I put my head on his lap in the taxi, and before I could even come to my senses, I noticed something, already going on in my head. And then I was already in the apartment, and I was naked, and I woke up and didn't even know his name. What kind of scoundrel was he? Anyway, there are people who are just scum. Simply put, these are people filled with hatred, envy, and greed. This is a kind of filth that's being poured into the ears of our citizens.
But what did Iran do wrong? Well, it's just real. What exactly did Iran do? Did Iran attack anyone? Did Iran carry out political assassinations in other countries? No, really, I'm genuinely curious. Could you tell me what exactly did Iran do?
For a long time, Israel has considered itself entitled to kill Iranian scientists.
Among the newly documented crimes, the accused is charged with publicly calling for the mass murder of Ukrainian children in December 2023. Well, that's complete nonsense, obviously, just another staged campaign. But this very campaign is being poured into the ears of our 3 million viewers. That's what's wrong and what shouldn't be happening. I really hope that we will learn all these lessons, that we will take something useful from them for ourselves, that we won't make mistakes based on these lessons. And most of all, I hope that while the world is distracted by all of them right now, we will quickly finish what we started. Because, as Donald Fredovich Trump said, whose birthday was just the other day, if it weren't for the whole world, we would have sorted things out with Ukraine in 3 days. I hope that's how it will be.
Our generation, those of us living now, and even those of us fighting nowhere, probably the very first post-war generation that can truly and fully appreciate just what that hard-won victory actually cost us. All those who went through Mariupol, all those who went through Gledar, all those who spent 9 months pushing the enemy out of the Kursk region, all those who know what it means to lose comrades, who know what it's like when from the settlements that are supposedly being liberated, in reality, nothing is left. And we understand this victory like no one else. And we know what it takes to reach it, but we have to reach it.
So the most frightening ones are not those who are now shouting that Russians should be killed. No. The most frightening are those who are now 7, 8, and 9 years old. Because in 10 years, they will be absolutely complete scoundrels, having been taught from the very first grade that they have an enemy who must be destroyed, and there will be absolutely no other feeling left in them at all. If the current generation still has parents who lived through the Soviet Union, they might still be able to say something perhaps over a plate of dumplings. But for those who are now 7, 8, or 9, I'm sorry, it's hopeless. They will be the most frightening ones.
We have never set territorial gains as an end in itself. And now, well, this is being set almost at the official level. If they had signed in 2022, they wouldn't have lost much compared to what they are guaranteed to lose today. Moreover, by being stubborn, Zelensky is essentially forcing us to move forward and, as a result, take new territories.
Not take, but ensure the security of our own territory by creating...
Well, in fact, we will find ourselves in a situation where, after coming to a certain territory, people will believe in us again. And we won't be able to leave that territory anymore, because then, well, you understand what would happen.
We thought women should emulate Blessed Xenia. Here is a woman who, having once married, never gave herself to anyone else a second time, never put on makeup again, buried her husband and buried her heart along with him, and gave her soul and body to God and became a saint. So now she helps everyone. And now there are many widows, and widows can be different. Pampered ones, as Paul says, are dead while they live. But those who remember their husband, somehow they feel ashamed to give themselves to another man, because after all, there is no death. The husband will look from the other world and, well, it feels shameful. After all, a blanket does not hide a person from the eyes of God or from the eyes of those living there.
I believe, of course, this is my personal opinion, that we need to declare mobilization. We need to prepare at least 500,000 people in advance. Or realistically, call up 1 million people and start training them. Prepare them for the undeniable fact that the war has already begun, which, as we already know, is happening here. The Third World War. But now it has taken on a new turn and a new fate. And so that no one even thinks of playing games with us the way they have with other countries. And now even with Iran, believe me, we all truly need to unite, to come together, to stand united, to unite at every single level.
Friends, thank you for being with me. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We will definitely win. Glory to the armed forces of Ukraine.